This video is brought to you by the Crafts channel in association with Palmer Metals. For more information, visit www.palmermetals.co.uk. Hello and welcome to the Crafts channel in association with Palmer Metals. I'm here with Corinne Bradd, who's teaching me how to make some Tierra Cast jewellery.
Yes, indeed, Abby.
So, what is it,
Tierra Cast, it's a range of pewter charms and findings that are coated in a variety of finishes. You've got a copper, a silver, pewter, brass. They are beautiful findings. They're very, very well cast.
They are pretty.
But a lot of people they're not quite sure what to do with them. So it was just a quick idea.
Yeah.
You're sporting the bracelet that I've made here.
I am.
And what I've done is I've used some of their other findings and charms to make a clasp with. We start off with the length of leather thong that you've got there.
Okay.
What I like to do before I cut my leather thong is I make it up roughly with just an ordinary piece of yarn, and then that gives me an idea of how much thong I'm going to need. So I'll cut my thong to size. And then we start the piece.
And you can buy all this.
Yep, the thong and all the Tierra Cast components are all from Palmer Metals. So first of all, to make the stopper of the clasp, fold the thong in half and you tie a simple lark's head knot around the shaft of a key.
So the lark's head knot, that's just pulling the two strands
through the lark's head, really, you've got a loop and you put the two strands through the loop and then you tighten it up.
Okay, just for those.
So we'll tighten it up around the key.
Who want knot tyres.
Knot tyres. Now what I'm going to do to keep that knot in place is I'm just going to use a bit of hypo cement, if I can get the lid off. Just put a little dab on your key.
Yeah.
Put the knot back up to it. Pull it tight, and then very important piece of technical equipment, household peg, just to hold that knot really tightly against the shaft of the key. And that's just to stop it slipping off. Now I've made up this little charm beforehand to thread onto the end of the key, which is simply one of the Tierra Cast angel wings with a round Swarovski crystal on an eye pin. And then if you just open the loop of the eye pin, thread it through the loop on the top of the key and hold it. And it just gives a bit of extra interest to the bracelet. I mean, I like bracelets where you've got dangly bits, but not completely symmetrical. So, that's the start of your bracelet.
Okay, so how long does that need to leave to dry?
You need to leave it for about probably 10 minutes. Really, you need to leave it to dry properly for about an hour, but 10 minutes will be fine. I'm going to take some of these copper round balls. Now, these are Palmer Metals' own round balls. So I'll thread some of these round copper beads onto the leather thong.
Yeah.
We'll have two on one strand and just a single one on the other. It's really just a random arrangement because, you know, the bracelet that I've made is quite free.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at it on your wrist, you know, you've got various different beads. Okay. Take one of these large copper rings, and we're going to use this as the catch for the key clasp. Yeah. So again, you want to put a lark's head knot on it, but you're going to be doing it with two strands this time. So thread your thong through the ring, bring it around, bring it back through the ring.
Probably a sailor in a past life.
No, when I was a child, my mum insisted on teaching me how to do macrame.
Oh.
Okay. Check that the threads are the same size, pull them tight.
Yeah.
And again, what I would do normally is put some hypo cement on there as well, okay? So really that is the wrist part of your bracelet, okay? With these ends,
added some tassels.
I have added some tassels. What have we got here? We've got some more copper beads. We've got some of these beautiful, I love these square beads that are from Tierra Cast. They're just very, very elegant. So we'll thread a couple of them on. And I think also I've glued a crystal on the end.
I can never say the word, not crystal, the other one.
Glued. Swarovski.
I'm all right with glued.
You will need a drop of glue on here. Actually, let's just pop a drop of glue on the end here.
And that stops it coming off the end.
Yeah. You may need a slightly stronger glue.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you're concerned about it at all, is to make a proper finding on a head pin, you know, or not the end of this. Really, I mean...
Would a crimp work, or...?
Yeah, you could put a crimp on the end of it. You would need a larger than normal... I mean, the crimps that you would normally put on things like beadle-on and that would be too small for the thong. Let's just put a bit more glue. Normally on a hypo cement you would have a very fine nozzle tip. I've broken mine off, I'm afraid. But the glue's still good.
I mean, it's almost finished now. It's such a quick project.
It is a very quick project.
You can make matching earrings as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're cast pewter, but they're really not particularly heavy.
No, they're not. I can feel that while I'm wearing it.
So we'll leave that to dry. And we'll leave all the glue to dry.
Yeah.
I say leave the peg on for at least 10 minutes while that knot, because that knot is imperative, because if it slides out, then you'll lose the clasp.
Yeah.
But it does mean that you've got a very simple bracelet with just a bit of a tassel.
Yeah.
If you use the other finishes, this one that I made here, now these are Euro beads. This is an owl. This is gorgeous, this owl.
Aww.
It's about the same diameter as a Pandora bead, or Pandora style bead. This ring is not normally sold as a clasp, but again, we've fixed it with a lark's head knot. And then what I've done is I've very simply done
like
a row of hitch knots.
Yeah, like the friendship bracelet.
Yes, yeah. So you've got a nice design on the rim, but I mean, that's pure, that's crochet cotton.
Yeah.
So have a play around with what you've got in the house, and don't be afraid to experiment. I mean, we've not done anything with this yet, but there will be components that you can get that you can fit into Tierra Cast.
Yeah.
This is one of the Swarovski, I think they're called cosmic pendants, and they fit perfectly into these rings. And then again, you can just take a piece of yarn, or a piece of yarn, you wouldn't use that, but take a piece of leather thong and simply thread a lark's head knot into it to make a pendant.
Yeah.
This one here, this is my favourite, and I've actually been wearing this. I nearly forgot to bring it with me today because I've been wearing it. This again is just a piece of thong threaded through a Swarovski heart.
Yeah, that's really pretty. I love the colour on that.
Yeah, it's a lovely colour. We've used some of these spacer beads to make sure that it stays in place, and then threaded it up with more brass beads, and it's simply tied with a knot at the back. I mean, I haven't bothered putting a clasp in it because sometimes I want to wear it high on the neck, sometimes I want to wear it low. So there's a lot of things that can be done with the Tierra Cast components, and they are beautiful. They're beautifully moulded. The detail on them, I mean, you look at that sunburst.
Yeah, what I love about them is that they're quite strong as well, so you're not... They're not flimsy, they're not going to break in half. And
no. And the other thing, I think, as I said in another video, is some of them, you know, if you decide that you want to put a hole in somewhere, or you want to make a second attachment, or you want to make the hole bigger in like these spacer beads, you can actually use a riveting tool, and you can, because they are pewter, you can cut into them to make the holes bigger.
Oh, right.
So have fun with the bracelet.
I will do. Thanks very much, Corinne. That's all we've got time for here at the Crafts Channel. Please join us again next time.